Hi, I'm Brad Gendics of Zehel Guitar Center. I'm working with the Avon Lake Public Library to present to you our beginning guitar lessons online at ALPL YouTube. This is the 5th guitar lesson in our series. This is assuming that you've already gone through the first 4 guitar lessons of single notes, how to tune the guitar, how to hold a pick, and all the extras. This we're going to start learning to play chords and extra notes along with that. First, we're going to start off with a blues. Now, blues can be a lot of different things, but we're going to learn a basic blues shuffle. Okay? We're going to use 2 notes together at one time. It's going to be a basic shuffle like this. This is called an E, or an E5, for a basic blues shuffle. And all I'm doing is I'm placing my first finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, as you can see closest to my face, 1 string down. The big thick string is going to be open. Okay, we're just going to leave that by itself, and I'm going to pluck those 2 strings together. Just in a straight downward pluck. All I'm doing is plucking straight towards the floor to hit both those strings together, and you'll hear it sounds like this. Sometimes you'll see that written as an E5 type of power chord. We're going to call that an E5 for our bass, or an E shuffle, just like that. And to make that shuffle sound, I'm going to take my 3rd finger. Remember, our finger numbers are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Index is 1, middle's 2, ring's 3, and my pinky's number 4. I'm going to place it all the way up to the 4th fret. It's a little bit of a stretch. That might be a little hard to reach. If you want to use your pinky, you can. And I'll get that kind of sound going like that. You'll see it in the tabs of 2, 2, 4, 4, 2, 2, 4, 4. And you'll notice the open string just keeps a drone going like this. Now we can play that as fast as we want or as slow as we want. Kind of like the first lick we learned. We can play this as slow as we want or as fast as we want too. The same thing. As you see, as I speed up, I'm up and down picking, which gets a little tough. I wouldn't worry about that too much right now. I'd probably just practice strumming straight down towards the floor. But you can only go so fast strumming down. And when we call it a shuffle, that's a type of feel, or a swing 8th note. Long, short, long, short, long, short, long. That's kind of more the blues idea. I can play that in straight 8th notes too, which will sound like this. Neither is right or wrong, it's just a different style. Mostly like to hear this kind of style, the straight 8th notes, maybe in some rock music. And this is more of a slow blues shuffle or a swing, maybe in jazz. What's nice about this riff is we can move it to different strings and play different chords. We just learned the E5 with the bottom 2 strings, open E and then the 2nd fret. All I'm going to do is move everything towards the floor 1 string. My first finger is on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and now my 5th string is going to be open. I'm not going to pluck the big thick string, okay? Sounds like that. My first chord was this. My 2nd chord's this. You can hear both those notes together when they ring. If I only hit one, it sounds like this. If I only hit this one, it sounds like that. We got to hit both of them together. And it will take some practice to pluck just those 2 strings. That takes a little while to get used to, especially when we start getting into the middle of the guitar where there's other strings on either side. And I'm doing the same exact thing as I was doing with the E chord. Just doing that shuffle. And I can also move another string towards the floor and play it just like this. Now I'm playing the D string open, the 4th string. My finger's still at the 2nd fret. And I've got a D chord, a little D5 power chord. So we've learned E, A, and D. And I can shuffle that just like I shuffled the other 2. Same thing. My 3rd finger is hitting that 4th fret. And now to play a straight 12-bar blues, 12 bars meaning 12 measures of music. Okay? That is 4 beats per measure for what we're going to do. So I'm going to play 4 beats per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be considered 1 measure. We're going to do 12 of those. Okay? We're going to have to reorganize these chords. What I showed you first with the E, the A, and the D, we're going to have to change those chords around in order to play this without having to change our fingerings. So we're going to start in the key of A, okay? I showed you the low E one first because it's just the 2 strings are down here and they're easiest to strum and pluck because I can just hit those 2 strings closest to my face and it's easy. Once I get to the A, it gets a little tougher. So you'll have to practice these a little bit. There's a lot of variations you can do on these chords too, as I'll show you in a minute. But a 12-bar blues will sound like this. Okay, that's 12 measures of music right there. I'll walk through it slowly and you'll be able to look at the chord chart next to me that shows you the 12-bar blues all the way through. You've probably heard this before. This is very common in a lot of music, from Elvis Presley to Stevie Ray Vaughan to everybody plays 12-bar blues. It's a very common form of music. So as we were talking before, it's 4 beats per measure. When we're playing this, we're playing in eighth notes, which is 2 strums per one. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be 1 measure. To get our blues shuffle, we're going to cut that in half and play eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That was 1 measure of music. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2. Third measure, fourth measure. And here's where we switch to our next chord, which is a D. 2 measures of this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. To our next measure of music, back to the A, as you can see written next to me. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now we're going to go back to our low E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. To D. And back to A. And 2 and 3 and 4 and measure 12. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Back to the top of the song, okay? This is a little difficult at first. It's going to take some practice to understand it, but we're just giving you a basic idea how to do that. There are some variations I can use on this chord too with the E. We'll just start with the E to keep it simple. I can go this way. Or I can do this like we've been doing. So I'm doing 2 of these, 2 of those. Switch to swing, or just 1 of them. I can also walk this. This even gets a little tougher. And I can do that on every one of the chords. To get it to sound right, you got to do some up and down picking. That gets a little tough. And then obviously the D chord. And there's many variations you can use on this. We're just giving you some examples. I hope you have fun with that one, and this concludes our 5th lesson. Thanks again.